The sun shines brightly over Croatia as Beth arrives for a weekend getaway with her closest friend. Her taxi driver, Zion, strikes up a friendly conversation during the ride, leaving a positive impression on Beth. She gratefully accepts his business card as he drops her off at her rented apartment. Beth's friend, Kate, orchestrated the entire trip and is covering all expenses using her ex-boyfriend Jay's credit card. In appreciation, Beth gifts Kate a black necklace, albeit one with a few loose beads. Later that evening, before heading out, Beth connects with her husband, Rob, and their child, Asta, via a video call. Rob wishes the girls an enjoyable night. As they step out, they encounter their landlord, Sebastian, who ensures their comfort in the apartment. Arriving at a restaurant, Kate deliberately orders the most expensive dishes, a move aimed at squeezing Jay financially. Beth feels guilty for not being there for Kate during her divorce due to her responsibilities as a new mother. Kate inquires about Beth's marriage, which isn't as stable as she pretends. After their meal, Jay's credit card is declined, prompting Kate to engage in a heated phone argument with him. Despite the high bill, Kate insists on covering the expenses. Later, at a club, Beth calls upon Zan to be their designated driver. While waiting for Kate to touch up her makeup, Beth seizes the opportunity to chat with Zion about their experiences as foreigners. Zion, a Syrian immigrant, shares his story with Beth, an American residing in London, and Kate once again pays for everything. Beth, however, opts for water. Two men show interest in them, leading Kate to encourage Beth to break out of her routine and keep this escapade secret from Rob. As the night progresses, Beth becomes increasingly intoxicated, eventually losing consciousness without realizing what transpired. Upon waking up at the apartment, Beth is plagued by gaps in her memory and no sign of Kate. The apartment's chaotic state bears evidence of a night of revelry. Open wine bottles, empty glasses, disheveled clothing, discarded protection, and a still-running jacuzzi. A broken glass and traces of blood are also discovered under a towel. Beth attempts to reach Kate on her phone to no avail. By noon, she confides in Rob about her concerns, though he dismisses them, assuming Kate is simply enjoying herself. Beth visits Sebastian, who hasn't seen Kate either. He reminds her of the strict no-parties policy and the additional charges. Beth's subsequent visit to the police station yields little support, as Officer Pavic dismisses her story and harbors judgments about partying and excessive drinking. Kovac, Pavic's superior, attempts to investigate but is rebuffed by Pavic, who insists on handling the case himself. Pavic informs Beth that a report cannot be filed until 24 hours have passed. Frustrated, Beth decides to take matters into her own hands and contacts Sam to help her identify the club they visited. At the club, the bartender initially feigns forgetfulness but eventually divulges that the two men accompanying the girls were escorts known for targeting tourists. Beth suspects Kate may have hired the escorts to help her break free from her marital rut. Beth calls Rob again that evening, and he remains dismissive of her concerns, attributing Kate's actions to her dramatic nature. The following morning, Beth tracks down the escort's social media profiles using the information provided by the bartender. Zan assists in arranging a meeting with them. When the escorts finally arrive, they flee upon seeing Beth's face. Zan confronts and coerces one of them into confessing that they only stayed in the apartment until 3 a.m. When they stole Kate's bag and fled, Beth retrieves Kate's bag and phone but remains suspicious, believing the escorts may have drugged their drinks, despite not affecting her. Zion finds this theory implausible, as they didn't rob Beth herself. A day later, Beth returns to the police station. Kovac takes her report seriously and chastises Pavic for negligence. Beth provides the police with Kate's bag and the escorts' names. Kovac arranges for Beth to undergo medical tests to determine if she was assaulted. Beth reaches out to Jay, who is unsympathetic and dismisses Kate's disappearance as another instance of her dramatic behavior. Upon returning to the apartment, Beth discovers Sebastian packing their belongings. As checkout time has elapsed, he offers her a discounted room downstairs. Once settled, Beth leaves Kate's phone charging and takes a nap. Upon waking up, Beth attempts to use Kate's phone but realizes it requires facial recognition. Sebastian proposes they dine together, but Beth declines and contacts Zion instead. Surprisingly, Rob arrives. Having flown in from London, their reunion is strained, with Rob expressing jealousy and concerns about Beth's trust in Zion. After a heated exchange, their conversation is interrupted by a call from the police, announcing the discovery of Kate's lifeless body. Beth accompanies Rob to identify Kate's body, learning that her death was due to drowning, pending further investigation. The next day, Rob reflects on his relationship with Kate and feels remorse for his previous annoyance with her. Beth decides to let Rob return to London to care for their daughter while she remains in Croatia to resolve the situation. Beth's suspicions of foul play intensify when she realizes a hidden camera in the apartment. She retrieves the footage and uncovers events leading up to Kate's disappearance. Beth races against time to gather evidence against the real culprit. Suspecting that Pavic might be involved, Beth contacts Jay. Beth discovers that Kate's phone is locked and requires facial recognition to unlock it. Once she gains access to Kate's phone, she discovers that there are several missed calls and text messages from a contact saved as Handyman. These messages and calls pique her curiosity and concern, as they suggest some sort of secret or hidden communication between Kate's involvement with Beth's husband, Rob. Over dinner with Zion, Beth contemplates a new theory regarding Kate's actions. Upon returning to the apartment, Beth confronts Rob about her discoveries, prompting him to make shocking confessions. Beth, in a desperate bid to expose the truth, is arrested for Kate's murder. Beth seeks legal representation and faces a grim reality in police custody. Beth's investigation takes a dangerous turn when she uncovers a hidden network of surveillance cameras. A shocking revelation about the events leading to Kate's death emerges from the footage. Beth finds herself in a tense standoff with the owner of the hidden cameras. A dramatic encounter leads to unintended consequences. Her image had been broadcast on television as a person of interest, prompting the company receptionist to contact the authorities. Upon receiving the call, law enforcement officers arrived at the scene. Beth's attention was drawn to an intriguing detail: a peculiar sticker on Pavic's car. This raised suspicions that Pavic might have been the perpetrator, which could explain why he had not filed any of their reports. Beth and Zion decided to flee the area, but the presence of numerous officers made it challenging to escape. It was there that Beth confronted Pavic, accusing him of Kate's murder due to his advances towards her. Their confrontation was abruptly interrupted by the arrival of Kovac. Taking advantage of Pavic's distraction, Beth managed to push him away. At the police station, Kovac offered an apology for the erroneous accusations made against Beth. Subsequently, investigators retrieved footage from both the apartment and street surveillance cameras. The footage revealed Pavic dropping Kate off at the apartment and later captured an unidentified man near the sea, pushing Kate into the water. Upon leaving the police station, she expressed her gratitude to Zion for his assistance. Beth remained in contact with Zion through text messages after her return to London. One afternoon, when dropping Asta off at Rob's place, Beth declined Rob's request to reconcile. An unexpected revelation came when Beth needed her spare car key. Rob directed her to check his jacket, where she discovered a surprising item, a bead from the necklace she had gifted to Kate. Engaging Rob in conversation, Beth subtly revealed the bead, prompting Rob to admit that he had indeed flown to Croatia that night. However, he vehemently maintained that Kate's death had been accidental. Rob confessed that Kate had expressed her love for him, although, in reality, their involvement had been a one-time rebound fling that Kate later regretted. Rob's obsession with Kate had intensified since their brief affair, and he had been persistently pursuing her. When Kate decided to confide in Beth and reveal the truth, Rob's anger had erupted, leading to a violent altercation that resulted in Kate's tragic fall into the water. Desperate to prevent Beth from reporting this revelation to the police, Rob attempted to seize her phone. Beth managed to strike him and secure Asta before fleeing with her daughter.